Hi everyone, I'm with Ferney here, who's our trainer for our ECSE courses in Oxford. Thanks for having a quick interview with us. I just wanted to find out how long you've been using Ekahau for and what you think about it.
Thank you, Sam. Yes, I've been providing the training for Ekahau for about 3 years now, just doing it almost full time. Provided several of the trainings here for open reality in the UK. And yes, we had students from all over the world basically. And I've been using Ekahau for about 6 years as I work at a school district in Salt Lake City, Utah. We have about 1,500 access points and about 50 buildings in 5 cities. And I manage the entire wireless environment. And I rely on Ekahau not only for design but also for troubleshooting. It's a really powerful tool, even though Ekahau is not a troubleshooting tool per se. It is indeed very powerful due to the all the information it gathers when you're surveying, and we use that heavily for troubleshooting and improving our wireless environments.
Great, and how did you get into doing training for the ECSE course?
Interesting question, Sam. As a user, I kind of got tired of being held hostage by a vendor, and people just came and showed me green maps about my buildings, and the maps were green, but it was still not working well. So I decided to get trained and do that in-house and train my staff to do it ourselves, do all the troubleshooting. That's how we came about Ekahau. Initially, we had an air magnet, and we suffered painfully using the product. Not very many updates. It was slow. It crashed. Once we started using Ekahau, we could appreciate more the better performance. It was just more efficient and easier, much easier to use. So, as a user of Ekahau, I could appreciate that, and then I had the opportunity to do some translation for Mr. Keith Parsons. He had a class in Madrid in Spain, and said, look, I'll be more than happy to go and translate, and I started doing translation, and then we did the same in Mexico. And then I realized that training was kind of good, and I liked it, and then I continued doing training. Of course, I trained my staff at the school district to use Ekahau. And then that's how I ended up providing training. And from my perspective, it's been much easier because I've used it. So I don't train people based on what I read in a book or what they told me about. Is my personal experience in designing for the school district, big enterprise environments, and also in the private sector. So the training has been, I came to be a trainer just from being a user before.
Right. And why would you recommend somebody comes on to the ECSE course?
There are many reasons. Of course, you can learn how to use Ekahau. There are a lot of videos online that will kind of give you some ideas on how to use it. But using Ekahau is just a small part of the equation. This class includes not only using Ekahau, but also learning how to design networks. There are 4 stages for the whole life cycle of wireless, and first you have to define what the network's for, then you have to design, and yes, you can use Ekahau to do the design, and you can do a hybrid approach on design, just do the predictive and also go on site and get some actual measurements. Then part of that is the deployment. You have to get the wireless deployed based on your design, and then after that comes the validation. So yes, a lot of people treat those as 4 disconnected pieces of information. Somebody does the sell, somebody goes and makes the design, somebody else makes the deployment, and then somebody else is called to solve problems. Coming to the class, you're going to get pretty much hands-on experience on all of it. Well, except the deployment, you won't be mounting APs in our class, but the value of the class is not just knowing how to use Ekahau. A lot of people are like, oh no, I already know how to use Ekahau. Like, okay, well, that's one thing, but how about the other stages in the life cycle of a wireless network? And it's also, we spend one whole day about talking about RF talking about 802.11, which is Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi or Drahtlos or whatever you want to call it. But that's basically the basis, because how can you design a wireless network if you don't know how it works? So the class is being put together in a way that covers many aspects. People pretty much walk out scared, like, wait, I thought I knew how to do Wi-Fi, and I realized I've been not doing Wi-Fi for 10 years. I've been mounting APs for 10 years, and most of the times, we were doing things wrong because we didn't know any better. And all this suddenly, this class is gonna put students into a different perspective. Now you start thinking more and more about what questions to ask when you are meeting with a client. And it's a class that is suitable for sales engineers, for support, for guys that sometimes they can be like, yeah, I'm only in charge of design. I only use it kind of like, you actually been mounting APs? Like, no. Have you actually done troubleshooting? Oh no, that's the troubleshooting team. Like, no, I mean, we have to be part of the whole stages. So yeah, I recommend, I hope more salespeople come to take the class, because usually salespeople just care about selling more APs. And in Wi-Fi, more APs doesn't mean more Wi-Fi. Most of the times, more APs means less Wi-Fi. Yeah. So the class is just definitely gonna shake the ground of all of those involved in either selling APs, mounting APs, designing wireless networks, or troubleshooting wireless networks. So we cover all of those aspects of it.
Great. And it's not just courses in the UK you do. I understand you're quite well travelled now. You do courses all over the world.
Yes, I travel more than I want to, but I like it. I have to be away from my family, but I enjoy training very much. Yes, I've been in many places in the world, and one thing I found everywhere is that there is Wi-Fi, bad Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah.
Bad Wi-Fi is, in North America, in Europe, in Istanbul, in South America. You pick a place on the planet and there is bad Wi-Fi there. So I travel quite a bit. Yes, that is true, and I enjoy training very much.
Yeah. Okay, great. So final question then. What would you say is the challenge facing wireless engineers in the future, or what's next to look out for?
I think one of the biggest challenges that wireless engineers and sales engineers and anybody involved in the Wi-Fi industry, the challenges that we face today is implementations that have been deployed but were never designed. They just were mounted out there.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's because APs were just swapped. And if you have a problem with the location of an AP, putting a newer AP is not going to make a difference. You're still going to have a problem there. Challenge that we face is that a lot of the networks were designed for coverage, and now suddenly we're talking capacity, and that's a totally different design. Also, we have a lot of deployments out there pretty much everywhere, and they just happen. It's not like they were planned, they were carefully designed. They just like, oh, we have these devices and they can be connected to the network wirelessly, and we have APs, we mount them and it works. And we expect it to work like it does at home. You have an AP at home and it works. It's not the same as coming to an enterprise environment and start mounting APs, whatever. And usually the designs are just limited to put one there, and we just define locations like that. Those challenges we have nowadays. In the future, well, challenges are going to be probably no different, because if we continue doing the wrong things we've been doing so far, we're just extending the problems to different areas. So the challenge that we face is, I think, is lack of design and lack of understanding and lack of getting people involved in all of the cycles of Wi-Fi.
Okay, great. Ferney, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the course.
Thank you.